World War II, a devastating time across the world. Many lives were lost and many homes were destroyed. England in particular had many casualties, over 384,000 soldiers and 70,000 civilians, largely due to German bombing runs across the country. After these bombing runs, many of those who survived were left homeless due to there being over 200,000 homes completely destroyed. Thankfully, many children were evacuated to the countryside before the destruction took place. However, this would affect them for the rest of their lives.
It was strange. It was strange, but it was something happened. I had kids and that, and I had a good time. I was happy when I was there. But we still got the air raids. We still got the air raids, and but it was something that had to happen, and that was it. Some didn't stay. Some went home, and but parents was concerned about the kids being where all the bombing was, so they decided to big evacuation, and they took us from school one day and just give you a identity disc around your neck, and then you had a gas mask, and we'd never seen out like that before. We hadn't even got ours from Hull, Anyway, we got these and set off, and we got the bus from Clifton Street in Hull, and there was loads of us kids, and then we went into the station, and there was a train all ready for us to go. And one thing I don't remember is any parents there. It's strange, isn't it? I thought about that after you'd been.
Yeah.
Maybe it was too upsetting for them, you don't know, do you? Hoped we'd be going to Seaside, And when it was about an hour's journey, and it was a little village called Moorends. And when we got there, we ended up in the village hall, and we sat there a while, and nobody said anything, didn't tell you nothing, didn't explain nothing. And anyway, these cars came, about so many individual cars, and they had 3 children in, all sat at the back. And then you sat in, you see. And then they just went down the streets, and somebody jumped out and went to the door and said about the Evacuees, and come and pick which one you want. And it was just like that, and just picked me, and I was there for all the war, and right to the other, because I was there for about, how old was I? I was about 13 when I left there. Our playground was right outside our school, and you could see everything. Anybody come in there, we all knew, and was all in there, and everybody was still all frightened. We all had to always have a gas mask on, and an identity disc, and they used to check everything. And then this morning, we sat there, and a big van come on the playground, and then another one come. Then they said, children, put your gas masks on. Well, I said to my husband, I said, if that had happened after we'd heard about the Holocaust, we'd have thought we was going to get done away with. Put your gas mask on and everything, tell you what to do and everything, and just line up outside on there. And we all did, and some of them was crying. But I didn't cry. I wasn't. I was too busy looking what was going on.
Yeah.
And they said, go in there, in turn, and you'd be fine. You just go in a caravan for a little while. But that's all they did say. They didn't explain it, what had happened, or anything. And I used to think, I said to Mrs. Sheffield later, I remember saying to her, we're not daft, why didn't they tell us? You'd have been better, wouldn't you, if you'd have known?
Yeah.
Anyway, we all gets in, and they turned the gas on. They turned the bloody gas on. And there was, some were screaming, and it was like, could hear thudding, banging, and with the feet. And that frightened me. I thought we really was getting gassed.
Yeah.
Anyway, eventually one of them in our lot, in our thing, she was screaming her head off and said, "Come on, dear, it's all right." Took her outside. Well, we was all on edge, you see.
Yeah.
And then we were sort of putting it all two and two together. And so when we got outside, we knew. They said, "Nothing will hurt you." That's when she was screaming her head off.
Yeah.
And you see, that was the thing. That should have said that there was some gas will come out. It's only to test your gas mask. It was just a test on the gas mask. But all them things stay in your head.
Like Elsie's, many families were torn apart due to them being separated. This led to bonds being broken and also many families never being able to see each other again. Some families in the countryside, where the children were sent to, was not too happy with the evacuees being there, leading them to being treated like outcasts. However, many families treat these children like that they were their own, leading to new bonds being made between them. Elsie's family that she stayed with was one of them, the Sheffields.
I mean, Mrs. Sheffield was lovely because she knew I wanted her child and I was with her a long time.
Yeah.
And was like friends. She was real good. We had some real good fun together. I told you, didn't I, when we used to sit on the windowsill and watch all the drunks go back and forth. Yeah. Well, we used to sit on there and she used to listen to the radio on a Saturday because it was called Hippodrome.
Yeah.
And it was Round Bottom, Enoch and Me that I used to hear because it was a real good song. As soon as it was finished, I said, "Are you going in the window?" So she said, "Oh, I'm not." She said, "No." I said, "There's one coming by." I said, "He comes every day." And I said, "He comes right near our house," you see.
Yeah.
Oh, she said, "No," because they didn't drink her out. So I said, just going in. So she went, "Oh, all right then, girl." And I said, "They used to say fart. They didn't say Trump." That's what they said.
Yeah.
Because I got told off about it when I come back to all, you know. And she went, and anyway, this bloke come, he nearly fell in our fence, and it was, you know, when you say these not blokes that are do a real good part, you know.
Yeah.
And then he's like this, and then he let the biggest fart. And she jumped in. She jumped back in there. But that night when I was doing that sugar and cocoa thing, I was let not to steal, and I didn't. I wasn't out like that, you know. Was brought up well, but oh dear, I was in the cupboard and I was just scaring a bit, and I thought I will tell her. I will tell Mrs. Sheffield.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was doing it and I spilt it all over.
Oh.
And pictures was only on for about 2 hours, and I was looking and panicking. And anyway, Mr. Sheffield come flying in, and he's looking at the clock. And with me not doing that before, I never knew what was going on with him. I knew he was doing something he shouldn't, but I never said no. And I thought, oh, it's our secret, you know. And then he come through, and I know he saw me.
Yeah.
I know he saw me. And with that, I put the thing down, and he shot off down the garden. And I know that was our secret, isn't it funny? He used to nick some oats or something every Thursday. And I used to do that, but I never did it anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had a jar of dried milk as well. And I thought, oh, I'll put a bit of that in it, it'll taste good. And bloody hell, honestly. It was a real good, you know, fun.
Yeah.
Well, I never see kids having anymore. You know, they don't.
80 years later, history seems to be repeating itself. The world has not learned its lesson, and war is even scarier than before. Ukraine suffers from war, the use of modern weapons and threats of nuclear warfare. Families are being torn apart again, and childhoods are being ruined. Will war ever stop in this world?